Hey, Bansaw Crown Music here. I thought just before I do the final part of this riser effect, I would let you listen to what the finished riser sounds like in context. So I've just done two quick sketches featuring two sequences from the factory library, and all I've done is add a little drum fill right at the end. This is what it sounds like. This is where I finish the design of the riser off, and in the next video I'm going to announce how we can all get involved creating our own risers from this and sharing them with each other as a community, so we can build a nice library of risers for everybody. Okay, so let's start. Do you remember at the end of the last video I mentioned that I wasn't very happy with how the riser drum sequence was ending? I thought it was a bit harsh sounding, a little bit nasty, and I wanted the drums to end in a more agreeable way. Now what I do personally when I've got sharp frequencies or nasty frequencies is to try and bury them in reverb and delay. I do this often with pads especially because these frequencies can actually build up as you're pressing multiple keys, and so one way to solve that is to turn the reverb all the way up. Anyway, let me show you how I'm going to apply reverb and delay for the last couple of bars on this drum riser. Okay, first of all, let's go to the mod envelope tab and add a new mod envelope. Flip the envelope. Take it out to 16 bars. Let's add 1 or 2 points to the envelope in the last couple of bars. Let's add our delay effect to the rack. Bring the mix all the way down. And then click and drag over to the mix to modulate that. Take it up to about 77% in the mod matrix. And also do the same with the reverb as well. I'm going to modulate the mix on the reverb. And mod matrix, take it up to about the same amount. We're also going to tail off the volume for the drums too. Take the volume all the way down. Remember, as we often do, change the trigger to the first MIDI note, otherwise the ARP will keep re-triggering this envelope, and the speed down to 1/4, so that it is actually 16 bars. Let's just quickly move the bottom point of the envelope so it does indeed start on the 14th bar. That's when the effects are going to start to come in. And now it sounds like this. Okay, now let's move on to our third oscillator. We're going to place a saw wave style kind of sound to give it some tone. Let's create a new oscillator. Let's change the name to saw. Just for speed, we're going to choose sample on this oscillator. Chrono. Going to increase the voices, a bit of detune to it, touch more pan, make it a bit wider. I'm happy with using amp 2 for this particular sound, a nice long attack. But I'm going to add a third filter and tie this to the third filter. To the key tracking down, a bit of resonance, a drive to help it cut through the mix a bit. I'll give it its own effects rack, FX3. Going to add a vintage phaser and automate that a bit later with the mod envelope. We'll come back to that. And give it its own pitch envelope. Adjust it. We're going to automate this over the course of 8 bars. A pitch range of 12. Remembering to take the speed down to a quarter again, so it matches the rest of the envelopes. And we're going to add a step sequencer, and then tie it to the oscillator. And I'm going to automate this volume mix. I'm going to choose a rhythm, simple, classic gate 3. And now this is where we're going to do all the automation. Flip envelope, make it 8 bars length. Take it down to a quarter speed again. First thing we're going to try and automate is this step sequencer here. Just make sure that volume mix has got reset to the top, so we'll just take it back down again to where it was, 0. I think when I chose the preset, I think it reset itself. I'm going to dial it all the way in eventually. Also going to automate the phaser with the same mod envelope. Take it about halfway. Same mod envelope, vibrato amount. Don't go too crazy with this, just under halfway will do. And I'm going to add a little bit of FM modulation here as well. Just a very, very small amount because it is a sample. And normally too much FM on a sample sounds a bit messy. That's only a small amount. Just gives it a bit of extra grunge. And we're going to tie the oscillator to ARP number 2 so that it comes in on the 8th bar like the white noise. I'm going to add some reverb and delay. Take the reverb right up to about 60-70%. Yeah, don't forget to make the trigger of this mod envelope the third oscillator when the ARP comes in, otherwise it'll trigger on the first bar. I want to fade this sound out, so I'm going to tie mod envelope 5 to the volume for this oscillator in the same way I did with the white noise on oscillator 2, taking the volume all the way down to the end so it fades out nicely. I'm going to actually give this a bit more gain, a bit more volume, just to make it come through the mix a bit better. And I'm going to insert an equalizer and insert a high pass, just to make sure those low frequencies aren't interfering with any other instrument. Touch more gain. And now, just to get a little bit more creative, I'm going to add a filter wobble effect, wobbling it with the LFO from side to side. Just going to experiment with the amount of LFO modulation. So I'm going to tie the mod envelope 6 to the amount of LFO modulation which is applied to the cutoff filter, and it will increase over time. Don't want to go too crazy with it. Take it down to about 17. that's it. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to leave it there. I might do 1 or 2 more presets myself based on this riser and share them with you. My kind of goal in creating a community riser is to give you these presets, and then you can tweak and add your creativity to them, and then we can all upload them to one place and share them with everybody. That's the goal, and I'm going to share how to do that with you in the next video. So enjoy the free riser effect and look forward to the final video, which is coming very soon. Until then,